If you find my information useful or helpful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you'd like to see a certain video done covering a particular repair or topic, go ahead and leave me a comment. No guarantees, but if there's enough viewer interest, I might be able to go ahead and shoot a video specifically about something that you're asking about. So, thank you very much for watching, and I do appreciate your time. Now, let's get on with the video. In this video, I'll show you how to take an uncut tile and to cut it to match a cabinet. Specifically, we're going to go ahead and cut it to match the leg right here. So, as you can see, it's a good match, and we'll do it without using any special tools. All we'll need here is a cutting knife, a pencil, a straight edge, in this case it's just a paint mixing stick, and we'll have another straight edge here, which is basically just a piece of cut tile. So stay tuned and you will see how we get this to fit nicely. Go ahead and put the tile in place and just make sure that it's lined up properly with any existing tile here. So if there's any serious gaps, just close the gaps here. So now it's lined up in place and the tile's flat up against the leg of the cabinet here. So after we make sure that's done, we go ahead and we mark it with a pencil. You don't want to mark it exactly where the edge of the cabinet is, just a little over to the right. You want to leave a small gap. So after we have a small gap over there, and on the other side we want to go ahead and mark it again a little to the left, leaving a small gap. And we also want to go ahead and measure a little distance here, or if you don't have a ruler, that's okay. Just have to make a note of what the actual distance is. We're just using the end of a stick here, so the tile sticks past the tile next to it by about this much. So take the stick out and bring the stick up to the edge right there. So the tile is about this far. And we're going to go ahead and use that. Make a measurement. Just mark it. Pull it a little over to the right. Like that. And carefully mark it. And do the same on the other side. Let's do it again just to be on the safe side. Okay. Go ahead and we'll find those marks and we'll draw a line between them. And we'll draw a line down from where it was marked on those sides. gone ahead and held the tile up to the leg again, and we've redrawn the marks here. We've redrawn them using the edges of the stick here to make the lines more visible, made them heavier, and made them nice and straight. So we want to make sure we get this as close to the original size as possible, so that way it's not too large and it doesn't leave any gaps. So the next thing we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and grab the utility knife, and we're going to hold the knife up using this as an edge, and we'll go ahead and run the blade, and we'll just gently run it. And we'll run it in this direction, actually, the blade this way, so that way if we're pulling the knife back like this, if it slips, it'll leave an ugly cut mark on this side. But if we're cutting starting here and pulling this way, well, then when the knife runs off the edge of the tile, it won't hurt anything. Be sure to go ahead and cut this tile on top of a piece of wood or cardboard, so that way when the knife blade penetrates the tile, that it won't damage your existing tile that's already on the floor, or damage any nice and valuable surface. A good way to cut the tile is to go ahead and run your knife over and over on the same spot, gently, until you cut deeply enough into the material. This material is not particularly hard or strong, but it's pretty dense, so you want to cut slowly. Run the knife several times. I think this was about maybe 6-7 times over the same spot. Each time the blade goes into the vinyl on the tile just a little deeper. And so do it for this side, and do it for this side, and then do it for this one. And as this thing starts cutting through, you know, so it starts opening up like this. So at the bottom here, let me lift your tile up. Just eventually it'll have enough cut through that just gently, and I mean gently, bend it. Notice the line or crack opening up. So gently push back on this until it breaks. Just bend it. You want to have a gradual break here. If it breaks too abruptly, you're going to get an ugly seam over here. And if the edge is not perfectly square, you can go ahead and just run it with a razor and just make it nice and straight. Any excess parts you can just cut out. And black pencil marks, you can just use an eraser on it to clean them up. So let's go ahead and hold it in place here. Let's take a look. And we have a decent fit. So let's go ahead and clean this up some more. Cut a little excess off the edge on the inside. And let's go ahead and proceed. We have this notch, this piece already cut out. So we're going to go ahead and cut the angle now. We have to basically cut this part off so that way this can match this. Now, to go ahead and cut it to the right angle, we're going to use a guide here, and we're going to use our straight edge, this paint mixing stick. So hold it up so that way it's flat up against the angle over here in the cabinet. Make sure it's flat. Not this way, not this way, but this way. So now, holding it carefully without moving the stick, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it with a pencil. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and pull this tile back. And just as a guide, we want to go ahead and draw a bunch of lines here until we get to the spot here where the angle needs to be cut. And we want to make sure that as we draw these lines that we're not crooked like this or like this, but pretty much straight and even. Another line, a couple of lines till we get to the corner over here. We've got our lines drawn, and so you see the whole series of lines here on the tile. What we're going to do is we're now going to go ahead and use this as a straight edge. We're going to hold the razor up and we're going to carefully cut along here. Just like before, we're going to go ahead and cut gradually, several passes, maybe 7 or 8 passes on the tile, and then when it's cut deep enough, we'll just bend this and snap it off. So you want to use a straight edge, hold it up right about to where the line is, and then just start scoring it and cutting it. The tile has been scored. Let's go ahead and bend it and break it off. I've gone ahead and trimmed a little more off the bottom to make it fit a little better, and finished cutting this triangle, this angle here. So let's go ahead and take them off, and let's go ahead and fit the tile in. So if it's a little tight, I have to just bend the tile up slightly like this again to fit down. So let's go ahead and get this to fit. It's down. This is, it's also down. And there we have it. We've got this strange angle cut in tile, and it fits good. So if you found this information useful, please subscribe, and thanks again for watching. Take care.